Hi everyone, welcome to my review of Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, directed by Jim Stenstrum from 2001. So yes, we are back once again, ready to discuss Scooby-Doo on the channel. This time around, the fourth of direct-to-video Scooby-Doo films, and yeah, it's the final film to be by the Mook Animation Studios, and yeah, it's kind of the end of an era for many reasons here, and yeah, I saw this again a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, well, actually, yeah, a week and a half ago now, and just, yeah, wanted to share my thoughts on this film. It's a very nostalgic film for me, and one that I saw many times as a kid, and yeah, really look forward to sharing my thoughts on this film today, but there will be a spoiler warning for this discussion. If you haven't seen this film, I simply recommend seeing it first, and then come back to this video, and we can go from there. We can talk about this from the comments, and yeah, all things Scooby-Doo. So yes, with all that said, let's discuss my thoughts on this film, and yeah, as I say, this is a really nostalgic film for me, and it's the one that I just saw probably, yeah, the second most out of these Scooby-Doo films as a kid. Obviously, Zombie Island was right at the top, and I did see this, yeah, more than the other ones, you know, kind of I hadn't seen as much as this one, so second most watched Scooby-Doo film. But yeah, it's a film I have great memories of, and I also had the Game Boy Advance game of this, and yeah, just great times, you know, of this this film here, and yeah, I think the way in which it starts out is really interesting. We have, of course, Mystery Inc. kind of visiting their kind of friend, Eric, a college student, who's kind of invented this video game which is based on Mystery Inc. and their kind of adventures and kind of solving mysteries and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, it's this award-winning kind of video game, and invites them to see this, and they go into the labs, and we've got quite a lengthy kind of intro before, you know, the kind of main bulk of the film happens, where they actually get transported into the video game, as we know, and you know, they actually eventually, well, in the second half, actually, you know, they kind of see their own selves, you know, video game selves, you know, in the actual game, and this is really cool and novel to see, and you know, I think it's not just this gimmicky kind of aspect of the film. I think it is really well fleshed out, and you know, I think they actually form this really nice special bond with the, you know, the other kind of yeah, they're kind of video game selves, and you know, I thought that was really nice, and just the way they kind of team up against the Phantom Virus, which is this virus, of course, which we do a you know, kind of intro to outside of the video game. You know, first he's in the labs, and you know, he got out. That's the whole kind of point. You know, Bill and Eric and all these characters are kind of saying, you know, that the Phantom Virus did escape, and then of course he goes back into the game, and you know, Mystery Inc. are also transported back into the game as well. So it is, you know, really wacky film the way it starts out, and you know, I think the rest of it is just so fun. You know, where they're actually in the video game, and they go through all the levels. We have 10 different levels, you know, in this. I just really love how we see the first 3 levels, you know, especially, you know, in detail. And we have obviously the moon level, which is really nice. Then we have the Colosseum, which is really epic and fun. And then we have my favourite part, which is the dinosaur level, you know, of these first 3. And this is just epic. And obviously the volcano as well, where we have the characters, you know, kind of trying to get to the Scooby Snacks when the lava's coming down the volcano, and that was just so cool. And you see the pterodactyl there, and you know, the baby one, how Scooby actually, you know, kind of rescues this pterodactyl, and that was really cute. And then it actually, you know, kind of in return, you know, as a favour kind of thing, you know, rescues Scooby from the lava just while Scooby is, you know, only just kind of grabbed the Scooby Snacks, which was really, you know, kind of cool there. And yeah, that's how they're kind of taken out of that level. And then we have the kind of montage, you know, going through the, you know, most of the rest of the levels until the final one, of course, at the kind of, you know, theme park where they had the amusements, and that was really cool. You know, I think I have mixed feelings on the way that we have a lot of the levels kind of skipped over in a sense, or kind of put into montage format. You know, I think you know, it would have been really cool to just, you know, kind of see a bit more, you know, of these levels, and because they look like they had real good variety in there, and you know, I think we just kind of see them for, you know, kind of this you know, couple of minute sequence, you know, these 6 levels that kind of put into the montage, which, you know, yeah, I do think I would have liked to have seen a bit more of these levels, and just like the first 3, but it was a cool way to kind of end it, at least with the final you know, in-depth kind of level there being the dinosaur one, which was definitely my favourite of the first 3. You know, it's just a really yeah, cool level, and we have different moments where the characters are just kind of you know, Mystery Inc. are kind of hiding out, you know, in the caves, for example, and some real just nice peaceful parts, you know, of this level. And you know, I just really love this part of the film. And yeah, when we get to the second half of the film, that is obviously, you know, kind of at the amusements, and you know, at the kind of theme park area, and this is when the final level, you know, is kind of both Mystery Inc. and their video game selves kind of teaming up against the Phantom Virus one last time, and to try and get the final Scooby Snacks. And this is really an amazing part, you know, of the film at times. And you know, I just love all these different monsters as well. You know, these kind of creatures from their past come back, and it's this epic kind of you know, sequence here, and they're getting chased all over the kind of theme park. And you know, I thought it was just really you know, epic. And I just really enjoy the first parts where we have them before they go into the video game as well, and the comedy there is really funny, and just seeing how, yeah, the characters, you know, Mystery Inc. are kind of interacting with the Professor, with Bill, Eric, of course, who they know previously, and as well we've got this guard as well, the security guard, and you know, it's all really fun, and just the way they're kind of suspects there, and it's a really nice campy tone to it, and you know, I think just when they go into the video game, that's when it really picks up even more, and you know, I think as well, you know, the final level, you know, this is something that they really you know, a lot of the film's dedicated to this one level. I guess it allows the bond between Mystery Inc. and their video game selves to actually be even greater, and for it to be more felt. And they do actually, you know, quite a, you know, sad moment. You know, as a kid, you know, at least I was really, really sad here. You know, they kind of leave, and they part ways, and when the actual, yeah, the real Mystery Inc. Kind of get, you know, kind of transported back into the actual world. You know, they kind of wave goodbye, and they kind of part ways. And you know, I think especially the Scoobies, you know, of both kind of worlds here, you know, this was quite sad. But then there is obviously, you know, a really nice ending where actually Mystery Inc., whenever they want, can actually see again their video game selves, and you know, through yeah, just going onto the laptop, and you know, this is a really nice moment, and they kind of once again kind of wave back to them, and that was a really nice kind of way to end the film. And you know, I just thought it was really, even though it was quite sad, the fact that they can go back and see them really in a sense whenever they want, that's just a really nice way to end the film, and you know, it's a happy ending in that sense. And yeah, I just think, you know, the kind of set pieces in this are just so creative at times, especially the Colosseum and the dinosaur level, and as well when they're kind of riding you know, the roller coasters and all this, and the you know, kind of final level of the game, that was really cool. And one of the things I really like about the final act and the way it kind of comes together is the fact that Bill obviously is the one that created the Phantom Virus, and just the way in which we learn this, and how, you know, throughout the game they're kind of saying there must be clues really potentially where, you know, whoever's kind of created the virus and the one, you know, behind this sabotage plan, you know, it's kind of, there should be clues within the game, and they kind of realise most of the levels, you know, kind of had these baseball references in them, and that was just so well done. And because, you know, at first it was teased that, you know, he was a massive baseball fan. He's even created his own game, you know, based on baseball, and you know, it's just so well done, this, and he's got this cap on obviously, and just all the different references throughout the levels with this kind of a baseball themed kind of situation. That was so well done, and yeah, it's just a really cool way to kind of you know, reveal that, and the way that they kind of realise this at the end as well. You know, we have the final moments, and then you know, the post-credit scene where we have obviously the gang kind of saying, you know, in a kind of self-aware way, you know, making the film, and what's their favourite moment to make, a favourite part, you know, of the film. It's definitely very different to the previous films, you know, in the franchise, but yeah, it did work as well, and added a lot of charm and comedy to this. And yeah, it's just a really nice film, and you know, I do really enjoy this one, and you know, so it's the one with the animation as well. It's really impressive. Obviously, the first, as I say, of the digital ink and paint, and you know, I do prefer, you know, though, the actual traditional animation of the previous ones, direct-to-video ones, but this is really interesting, and you know, I think it's unique the way it's done, and it does look really great at times, and you know, I think the music in this as well, definitely, you know, I do prefer, you know, as well, the other scores to the previous ones we've talked about, but I do really enjoy this one as well. Hello Cyber Dream, the song that is played, you know, throughout the montage, you know, I've mentioned in the film, that was really cool, and you know, wacky, and you know, as a kid, I really did enjoy, you know, just seeing that montage and hearing that music, and yeah, just seeing it again, you know, this film, all these different, you know, points of the film, the memories, you know, kind of, you know, it's so cool to kind of go back and see this, and yeah, just to see it, you know, on physical media again, and to watch this film, just relax into it. You know, it's a really charming film, you know, a lot of really funny comedy, and just, as I say, the animation, the characters in this, and you know, I think just the way in which we have that final act, the way it comes together there, and we've got kind of emotional moments, as I say, when the kind of the two teams here, you know, Mystery Inc. and the video game selves kind of part ways, but you know, it is kind of a happy ending where they can, in a sense, you know, go back and see them in that sense, you know, with the video game, and you know, just on the laptop, and it's just as simple as that. I think it's just really nice how they do kind of once again see each other and wave into the laptop in that sense. That was just a really nice moment, and yeah, I think this film is just really well directed, and you know, I think obviously it is the end of an era for, you know, a lot of reasons. Obviously, Hanna and Barbera, you know, them executive producing together. You know, this was the final one, obviously, as Hannah unfortunately did pass away, and the film is dedicated to his memory, and it's just the last end of an era for many reasons. I've seen the next one after this, and it seems like as well, just going forward, this was these first 4 direct-to-video ones were quite different in their own kind of thing, and going forward, it's not quite the same kind of feeling, and it is definitely one to cherish, this film, and I think this is just, for any Scooby-Doo fan, it's definitely one that I would always recommend to check out if they've not already seen it, and it's just so much fun. You've got creative set pieces, the levels, the way they're done, and just the simplicity, of the Scooby snacks being the main goal at the end of each level, and as well just how we've got within this loads of different clues, and kind of moments where we have obviously Bill being the one that sabotaged all this, and kind of he created the virus, the way that it is obviously baseball references throughout, and that was just so well done, and just throughout the flow of the film is really nice, and it's just, as I say, a cute, charming film. Scooby and Shaggy once again in this together, it's just really nice, and I think it's just seeing the gang together, and also how they interact, especially with their video game selves. This was just so well done, and I think it wasn't a gimmick, as I say. It was really well thought out, and it had a nice kind of emotional moment in the end as well, and I think it's just a film from start to finish. I find to be really fun, creative, and just funny, of course, and really epic in places as well, especially the dinosaur level, and as well the Colosseum, and as well definitely the final level, and different moments in this, and just how they kind of take down finally the Phantom Virus, and defeat him, and how he brings together all the different villains in the Scooby-Doo franchise, and just the way it culminates, as I say, it's so well done. Yeah, overall my rating for this film is a 77%, so a really high score from me, and one that I just really enjoy. This film, I think it's really charming. It's got an adventurous spirit to it, the way we go through the various levels, even though, as I said, level 4 through 9 are all kind of montage sequence. I think despite that, it's just really cool to see all the levels, all 10 of them at some point in the film, and just the variety, and the way in which we have the first 3, we see them, in depth. I just think, as a kid as well, the dinosaur sequence really appealed to me, especially. Just the entire film is full of charm, and full of a sense of wonder, and as I say, adventurous spirit. It's got an energy to it, and I think it flows really well. And that second half, really, of the film, we have that kind of final level, and the actual finale. I think that was just so much fun, and really epic in places. And I think the Phantom Virus, as a villain, is just so cool, and I think really funny moments with him, and just the whole kind of way in which he's always kind of on the case, and he's in every level of the game. And we have Bill as well being revealed to be the one that created this virus. I thought that was just really well done, and it just has a really uplifting ending as well, as I've said, with Mystery and kind of seeing their video game selves, and they can kind of go back, as I say, and to see them, you just look at them and interact with them whenever they want, and that is just so cool. And it's just a really kind of nice ending, of the film. And as I say, it's a really nostalgic film for me, and just going back to see it again, it's been many, many years. I'd been a teenager the last time I saw this film, and it'd been so many years in that sense, and it was just so cool to see this again. And it's definitely one of my favourite personal Scooby-Doo films, and I think it's just a film that I had a great time kind of going back to see again, and I just really enjoy this film, and it's a really just charming, funny, and creative Scooby-Doo film. And so that's my thoughts. What do you think on this film? Really cool to hear in the comments, your thoughts on this, your experience with this, and how does it compare for you to different films in the Scooby-Doo franchise? Let's talk all this in the comments, and celebrate cinema. So yes, as always, take care, and thanks for watching.